The hour of 11 a.m. having arrived, the House will come to order. Members, please take your seats. Sergeants at arms, please close the doors of the House. Prayer today will be offered by our colleague, Representative Rinkavage. Immediately after prayer, we will recite the Pledge of Allegiance. Members and guests, please rise as able.
Let us pray. Father, we thank you for the privilege of serving the people of this Commonwealth. As we work through our budget, grant us wisdom, patience, and clarity. In the long nights and many days away from our homes and families, strengthen us and give us peace. Protect each member and staff as we carry out this important work. And may all we do be guided with integrity, humility, and a heart for service. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance. Sergeant at arms will open the doors of the House. Members and guests, please take your seats. Without objection, the approval of the journal for Monday, June 16th, 2025 will be postponed until printed. Colleagues, if you can take your seats. We do have some guests. We'll have committee meetings and we'll commence voting for the day. Chair thanks to hardworking members of the bipartisan management team, CORE, and LDPC to get all of our equipment properly working. Please take your seats. Please take your seats. Our colleague that serves York has a special guest here today. Representative Anderson brings to the floor of the House this morning the winner of the 2025 Pennsylvania House Scholarship, Lisa Alzada, who is a graduate from the Northern High School. She's here with her dad, Sam. Lisa is off to the west side of the state. Hail to Pitt. She'll be a freshman there this fall. Lisa, please stand. Congratulations. Our colleague that serves Bradford, Representative Pickett, has the Honorable J. Scott Chadwick seated to the left of the Speaker's rostrum. He served in the 110th Legislative District from 1985 to 2000, preceding our Madam Chair, Representative Pickett. He's here with his lovely wife, Michelle. Representative Pickett also has retired Army Colonel Hatcher and retired Navy Commander Diane Archer visiting the Capitol today. All guests are welcome. We're honored to have a former member in our midst. Please stand so we can welcome you to the floor of the House. Our colleague that serves Lancaster, Representative Rivera, has a special guest here. Some might say it's her favorite constituent. Representative Rivera's husband is here. We want to welcome Ramon Rivera to the floor of the House. He's seated to the left of the Speaker's rostrum. Please stand. Welcome. Our colleague that serves the Lehigh has some special guests here. Representative Schlossberg has his youngest constituents here. We're thrilled to welcome back to the floor both Orrin and Ayla Schlossberg. Thank you for being here. In the back of the House, our colleague that serves Philadelphia, Representative Harris, and our colleague that serves Chester County, Representative Friel, have some students that are in the Masters of Public Administration program. There are some students who are getting their Master in Public Administration. They are students Ryan Taylor from the Constituent Service Advisor in Representative Harris's office. Please stand when I say your name. We have Jesse Kohler, founder from the Change Campaign. We have Greg Berman from the firm Blank Rome. We have Silas Dean, a public sector entrepreneur. We have Eric Gutschall, a distinguished fellow at the University of Pennsylvania. We have Peter Urschuler, who's the mayor from the borough of Phoenixville. And we are so thrilled to have all these MPA students on the floor of the House. Welcome. The chair has some special guests in the back of the House. Pleased to welcome the Go Validate team. We have David Dix, Jordan Steffi, Brock Stein, Taylor Ashe, and Patrick Gross. Thrilled to have you here this morning. Thank you for coming. In the gallery, our colleague that serves Luzerne, Representative Pashinsky, has students who are a part of the Future Leaders in Education Camp. This is a partnership between King's College and United Way and the Building Blocks Learning Center. This residential summer camp gives high school juniors and seniors a hands-on immersion experience in the world of education. Future leaders in education, our next generation of teachers. Please stand. Welcome to the floor of the House. Our colleague that serves York, Representative Fink, has some special guests in the House. The gallery, we have her constituent, Tony Nello, who is shadowing her for the day. He is a graduate from York College, where he earned his BA in political science. Would Tony please stand? Welcome to the floor of the House this morning. Our colleague that serves Chester County, Representative Lawrence, has Leah Matthews, his legislative district intern. She's a student at Wilmington Christian School in Delaware, and she has interests in communications, physical therapy, and speech therapy. Leah, thank you for your hard work you will do this summer. Where are you? Welcome to the floor of the House. Representative Cepeda Freitas, who serves Berks County, has Giovanni Amorosa Bracero, who's a student at Temple University studying political science, and Natalie Figueroa, a full-time student at Millersville, who are here shadowing Representative Cepeda Freitas for the day. Students, please stand. Good to see you always. Representative Brown has his legislative interns here from Philadelphia. We have Michaela Fonville-Boyd in the gallery, a student at UConn. We have Rajon Dispensa, a student at Yavapai College. We have Demore Barry Martinez, an All-American student athlete who's getting ready to go to college. With these folks from the 10th Legislative District, please stand. Welcome to the floor of the House. Representative Schlegel has his legislative intern here, Amanda Forteza, and her brother Fernando, and the nephews Alex and Tiago Forteza. With these folks, please stand. Thank you for visiting us this morning. Glad to have you. Representative Fleming, who serves Dauphin County, has Andrew Schreck, a student at Penn State studying communications, Catherine Camilli, a student at Kutztown University studying library science, and we have Sarah DeSantis, the Legislative District Office right here in Dauphin County. Thank you for visiting the Capitol today. Representative Smith Wade L. in Lancaster has his legislative interns here. Jonathan Perez, a graduate of West Virginia University. Xavier Alexander King, a student at Rose College. Where are you? Please, thank you in advance for the work you'll do this summer in Lancaster. Representative O'Mara, who serves Delaware County, has her legislative interns here. We have Kayla Taylor, a Westchester University senior studying social work. We have Caroline Kelly, a senior at St. Joe's University studying political science. We have Owen Zuli, a student who is an intern with the Southeast delegation here in Harrisburg, who recently graduated from Bloomsburg. And we are thrilled to have Representative O'Mara's District Office Director back, Rose Rice. Thank you all for being here today. Representative Boyd, who serves Delaware County, has her legislative intern here this morning, Quinn McGee. Quinn just completed the first year of studies at University of San Francisco, where Quinn will be obtaining a BA in politics and a BS in economics. Quinn, where are you? Thank you for the work you'll do in Delco. Representative McAndrew, who serves Allegheny County, has Tatum Grimes from Oakmont. Tatum is shadowing Representative McAndrew as a part of Legislator for a Day. Tatum, I believe, is in the gallery. Please stand, Tatum. Welcome to the floor of the House. There you are. Are there requests for leaves of absence? Chair recognizes the Majority Whip, who indicates there are none. The chair recognizes the Minority Whip, who indicates there are none. The chair is about to take the master roll call. Members will proceed to vote. Have all the members voted? Have all the members voted? Clerk will record the vote. 203 members having voted on the master roll call. A quorum is present. Chair recognizes the gentleman from the Lehigh for a committee announcement, Representative Schlossberg.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, there will be an immediate Rules Committee meeting in the Majority Caucus Room.
Chair thanks the gentleman. Chair recognizes the gentleman from Lackawanna County, Representative Mullins, for a committee announcement.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. The Appropriations Committee will meet immediately following the Rules Committee in the Majority Caucus Room. All members of the Appropriations Committee, please make your way to the first floor caucus room.
Chair thanks the gentleman. Chair recognizes the gentleman from Bucks County, Representative Warren, for a committee announcement.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. The House Insurance Committee will meet immediately at the break in room B31, Main Capitol, to vote on House Bill 1445 and any other business that may come before the committee. That's room B31. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Chair recognizes Representative Briggs, Chair of the Committee on Judiciary, reports the following bills. House Bill 97, reported as committed. Will the House agree the report is agreed to? House Bill 102, reported as amended. Will the House agree the report is agreed to? House Bill 783, reported as committed. Will the House agree the report is agreed to? House Bill 1091, reported as committed. Will the House agree to the report is agreed to? House Bill 1145, reported as committed. Will the House agree the report is agreed to? House Bill 1319, reported as committed. Will the House agree the report is agreed to? Senate Bill 255, reported as committed. Will the House agree the report is agreed to? Senate Bill 302, reported as committed. Will the House agree the report is agreed to? Senate Bill 327, reported as committed. Will the House agree to the report? It is agreed to. The chair recognizes Representative Williams, Chair of the Committee on Human Services, who reports the following bill. House Bill 1108, reported as amended. Will the House agree the bill is agreed to? The chair recognizes Representative Burns, Chair of the Committee on Professional Licensure, who reports the following bills. House Bill 80, reported as amended. Will the House agree the bill is agreed to? House Bill 482, reported as amended. Will the House agree the bill? It is agreed to. Chair recognizes Representative Burns, Chair of the Committee on Professional Licensure, who reports the following bill with the request that it be re-referred. Senate Bill 1115, Senate Bill 115. To the Committee on Human Services. Will the House agree the report is agreed to? Chair recognizes the gentleman from Bucks County for an updated committee announcement. Representative Warren.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. The updated committee announcement is that the House Insurance Committee will meet immediately upon our going at ease in room B31. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Chair thanks the gentleman. Chair recognizes Representative Nielsen, Chair of the Committee on Transportation, who reports the following bills. House Bill 1416, reported as committed. Will the House agree the bill is agreed to? House Bill 1545, reported as committed. Will the House agree the bill is agreed to? House Bill 1591, reported as amended. Will the House agree the bill is agreed to? Senate Bill 185, reported as committed. Will the House agree the bill is agreed to? Chair recognizes Representative Samuelson, Chair of the Committee on Finance, who reports the following bills. House Bill 1572, reported as committed. Will the House agree the bill is agreed to? House Bill 1575, reported as committed. Will the House agree the bill is agreed to? House Bill 1610, reported as committed. Will the House agree the bill is agreed to? The House will temporarily be at ease for the purpose of the committee meetings and to allow members to take photographs with their guests. The House will be at ease. The House will come to order. Chair recognizes the Majority Leader who calls up House Resolution 221. Chair recognizes Representative Harris, Chair of the Committee on Appropriations, who reports the following bills. House Bill 1331, reported as amended. Will the House agree the report is agreed to? House Bill 205, re-reported as committed. Will the House agree the report is agreed to? House Bill 350, re-reported as committed. Will the House agree the report is agreed to? House Bill 553, re-reported as committed. Will the House agree the report is agreed to? House Bill 559, re-reported as committed. Will the House agree the report is agreed to? House Bill 1048, re-reported as committed. Will the House agree the report is agreed to? House Bill 1282, re-reported as committed. Will the House agree the report is agreed to? House Bill 1404, re-reported as committed. Will the House agree to the report? It's agreed to. The Chair recognizes Representative Dawkins, Chair of the Committee on Labor and Industry, who reports the following bills. House Bill 1358, reported as committed. Will the House agree the bill is agreed to? House Bill 1540, reported as committed. Will the House agree the bill is agreed to? The Chair recognizes Representative Bradford, Chair of the Committee on Rules, who reports the following bills. House Bill 627, re-reported as committed. Will the House agree the report is agreed to? House Bill 811, re-reported as committed. Will the House agree the report is agreed to? The Chair recognizes Representative Warren, Chair of the Committee on Insurance, who reports the following bill. House Bill 1445, reported as committed. Will the House agree the bill? It is agreed to. Chair recognizes Representative McNeil, Chair of the Committee on Children and Youth, who reports the following bills. House Bill 506, reported as committed. Will the House agree the bill is agreed to? House Bill 1505, reported as committed. Will the House agree the bill is agreed to? House Bill 1573, reported as committed. Will the House agree the bill is agreed to? House Bill 1576, reported as committed. Will the House agree the bill is agreed to? House Bill 1577, reported as committed. Will the House agree the bill is agreed to? House Bill 1600, reported as amended. Will the House agree the bill is agreed to? Chair recognizes Representative McNeil, Chair of the Committee on Children and Youth, who reports the following resolution. H.R. 142, reported as committed. Will the House agree the report is agreed to? The Chair recognizes Representative Burgos, Chair of the Committee on Consumer Protection, Technology, and Utilities, who reports the following bill. House Bill 1599, reported as committed. Will the House agree the bill is agreed to? The Chair recognizes Representative Burgos, Chair of the Committee on Consumer Protection, Technology, and Utilities, who reports the following resolution. H.R. 254, reported as committed. Will the House agree the report is agreed to? The Chair recognizes the Majority Leader, who calls up House Resolution 221, printer's number 1565, on page 7 of today's House calendar. The clerk will read a summary of the resolution.
A resolution designating the week of June 16th through June 22nd, 2025 as Pollinator Week in Pennsylvania, introduced by Representative Melissa Schusterman.
Will the House agree to the resolution? Those in favor of the resolution will be voting aye. Those opposed will be voting no. Members will proceed to vote. Have all the members voted? Have all the members voted? Clerk will record the vote on the resolution. The ayes are 199, the nays are 4. The resolution is adopted. The Chair recognizes the Majority Leader, calls up House Bill 811, printer's number 1819, on page 1 of Supplemental Calendar A. Clerk will read a summary of the bill.
This bill provides for civil and liability penalties.
Will the House agree the bill? It's agreed to. The Chair recognizes the Majority Leader, who calls up House Bill 968, printer's number 1049, on page 2 of today's House calendar. Clerk will read a summary of the bill.
This bill provides that any person who possesses a valid active duty military fishing or hunting license or disabled veteran license issued in another state may fish or hunt in the Commonwealth if that state has entered into a reciprocal agreement with Pennsylvania.
Will the House agree the bill is agreed to? The chair recognizes the majority leader who calls up House Bill 1403, pointers number 1685, on page 2 of today's House calendar. Clerk will read a summary of the bill.
This bill waives fees charged by the Pennsylvania Department of Education upon educator placing their certificate into voluntary inactive status.
Will the House agree the bill is agreed to? The chair recognizes the majority leader who calls up House Bill 538, printers number 0531, on page 2 of today's House calendar. Clerk will read a summary of the bill.
This bill provides for sexual violence, dating violence, domestic violence, and stalking education prevention and response at institutions, higher education, and private licensed schools.
Will the House agree to the bill? Representative Schweier offers A, 01160. Gentleman withdraws. The chair thanks the gentleman. Representative Ledbetter offers A, 01154. Will the House agree to the amendment? Chair recognizes the maker of the amendment in the bill. Gentleman from Columbia, Representative Ledbetter.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Colleagues, this amendment makes an update to the bill following discussions with key stakeholder groups as we've developed this important legislation. My amendment allows universities and the department to consult with organizations that specialize in outreach and education programs on human trafficking prevention and awareness. With this amendment, Madam Speaker, the PA Coalition Against Domestic Violence will be neutral on the bill, and I would ask my colleagues to join me in supporting Amendment A01154. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Chair thanks the gentleman. Those in favor of the amendment will be voting aye. Those opposed will be voting no. Members will proceed to vote. Have all the members voted? Have all the members voted? Clerk will record the vote on the amendment. The ayes are 203, the nays are 0. The amendment's adopted. Will the House agree the bill is agreed to? The bill as amended will be reprinted. The chair recognizes the majority leader, calls up House Bill 627, printers number 0638, on page 1 of supplemental calendar A. Clerk will read a summary of the bill.
This bill amends the Pennsylvania Commission on Crime and Delinquency law to establish the Public Safety Resident Communications Pilot Program.
Will the House agree to the bill? The gentleman from York, Representative Diorsi, offers A, 01104. Will the House agree to the amendment? Chair recognizes the maker of the amendment, Representative Diorsi.
Thanks, Madam Speaker. This amendment adds an important safeguard to the underlying bill by ensuring that any community engagement software funded through the grant program is used exclusively for internal law enforcement purposes. It clarifies that the software must be used within the agency to support community safety efforts, improve policing practices, and provide internal updates. This will ensure that the software cannot be used as a public-facing complaint log or to single out individual officers within the law enforcement agency. I want to thank the maker of the bill for working with me on this agreed-to amendment, and I respectfully urge a yes vote. Thanks, Madam Speaker.
Chair thanks the maker of the amendment. On that question, Chair recognizes the maker of the bill, Majority Chair of Veterans Affairs and Emergency Preparedness from Philadelphia, Representative Solomon.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. The underlying bill seeks to bring communities and law enforcement together. A key component of that is to ensure that the proprietary information of individuals and members of police departments who participate are protected. The gentleman from York County's amendment does just that. I appreciate the amendment, and I would urge an affirmative vote. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Chair thanks the gentleman. Those in favor of the amendment will be voting aye. Those opposed will be voting no. Members will proceed to vote. Have all the members voted? Have all the members voted? Clerk will record the vote on the amendments. The ayes are 203, the nays are 0. The amendment's adopted. Chair's understanding that all remaining amendments are withdrawn. Chair thanks the members. Will the House agree the bill is agreed to? The bill as amended will be reprinted. The chair recognizes the majority leader who calls up House Bill 1095, printer's number 1190, page 3, today's House calendar. Clerk will read a summary of the bill.
This bill seals the eviction records to protect tenants and communities.
Will the House agree to the bill? The gentleman from Lancaster, Representative Smith Wade L., offers a 0-1010. Will the House agree to the amendment? On that question, Chair recognizes the gentleman from the Lehigh, Representative Schlossberg.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. On behalf of Representative Smith Wade L., this amendment changes the placement of eviction files under limited access to be either 7 years since the filing of the case or upon adjudication of the evicting case in favor of the occupant. We ask for an affirmative vote.
Chair thanks the gentleman. Those in favor of the amendment will be voting aye. Those opposed will be voting no. Members will proceed to vote. Have all the members voted? Have all the members voted? Clerk will record the vote on the amendment. The ayes are 200. The nays are 3. The amendment's adopted. Representative Rossi offers a 01126. Will the House agree to the amendment? Chair recognizes the gentlelady from Westmoreland, Representative Rossi.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Amendment A01126 would provide clarification that only evictions resulting from a tenant's inability to pay rent are eligible for limited access designation under the bill. Tenants should not get a free pass for all reasons for cause that led up to the reason for eviction. Landlords are often faced with damaged property, unsanitary conditions left by the tenant, and income lost due to lengthy construction repairs caused by the tenant's negligence. And yet, this bill as written would give tenants a free pass for all situations, even acts involving criminal activity, which is simply unacceptable. Often, landlords are awarded judgment in landlord-tenant cases where the tenant is found liable, and yet these judgments are often never paid at all. Owing past rent is far different than owing damages. With this bill as written, the word all wipes the record clean for everything and anything a tenant may have done to be evicted. By voting in the affirmative for my amendment, this would allow good consideration for tenants that simply hit hard times and owe past due rent versus blanketing in damages and other bad actor reasons that resulted in eviction. I ask for an affirmative vote on my amendment. Thank you.
Chair thanks the gentlelady and recognizes the prime sponsor of the legislation, the gentleman, Representative Wade L.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. This is not an agreed to amendment. As written, it would actually exclude tenants with no-fault eviction records. For example, their landlord files citing termination of the lease term because they want to sell the building, defeating the purpose of the bill as a whole. I urge a no vote from all my colleagues. Thank you.
Chair thanks the gentleman and recognizes the gentleman from Allegheny, Representative Markozik, chair of the committee.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I oppose this amendment and urge all to vote no. Thank you.
Chair thanks the gentleman. Those in favor of the amendment will vote aye. Those opposed, no. Members will proceed to vote. Have all the members voted? Have all the members voted? On the amendment, the ayes are 101, the nays 102. The clerk will record the vote. On the amendment, the ayes are 101, the nays are 102. The amendment fails. Representative Schaefer offers Amendment A 01127. Will the House agree to the amendment? On that question, the chair recognizes the gentleman from Allegheny, Representative Schaefer.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I support the underlying concept of this bill to give people a second chance, and I voted yes on this bill in committee. The amendment that I'm offering today, A01127, clarifies this is for a second chance, not a third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh chance, but that this bill allows someone a second chance. In the future, maybe we can revise this and look at allowing people additional, but I think that a good first step would be allowing people one second chance, and that's what my amendment offers. Thank you.
Chair thanks the gentleman. On the question, chair recognizes prime sponsor of the underlying bill, the gentleman, Representative Wade L.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. First, I'd like to note that the bill as already amended is the best possible product of work between a variety of stakeholders, including the Pennsylvania Association of Realtors, the Pennsylvania Residential Owners Association, the Pennsylvania Apartment Association, the Housing Alliance of Pennsylvania, and other relevant stakeholders. Unfortunately, this amendment is not an agreed-to amendment. Eviction records really only have 2 points of reliability for court staff to see at the top level. Those are name and address. Addresses are liable to change, and some names are very common, and so this would create a difficulty or an impossibility for courts to distinguish between tenants with common names for the purpose of implementing the amendment. I urge a no vote. Thank you.
Chair thanks the gentleman and recognizes the Majority Chairman of Housing Community Development, Representative Mark Kozik.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. As chairman of the committee, I would urge a vote as no vote. Thank you.
Those in favor of the amendment will vote aye. Those opposed, no. Members will proceed to vote. All the members voted. Clerk will record the vote. On the amendment, the ayes are 101, the nays are 102. The amendment fails. For what purpose does the gentleman, the Majority Whip, rise?
Mr. Chair, I rise to make a motion.
Gentleman is in order, may proceed.
Mr. Chair, I motion to table Amendment A01122 pursuant to Rule 59.
Chair thanks the gentleman. Representative Schlossberg moves that Amendment 1122 be laid on the table. On that question, members are reminded that the motion to lay on the table is debatable by only the leaders, the maker of the motion, the maker of the amendment under consideration, and the prime sponsor of the bill under considerations. On the motion, the chair recognizes the gentleman from Chester, Representative Lawrence.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. In the spirit of bipartisanship, I will withdraw both of my amendments on this bill. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
The chair thanks the gentleman. For purposes, the Majority Whip, Representative Schlossberg, rise.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise to make a motion.
Gentleman's in order, may proceed.
Mr. Chair, I motion to table Amendment A01157 pursuant to Rule 59.
Representative Schlossberg moves that Amendment A01157 be laid on the table. On that question, members are reminded that motion to lay on the table is debatable by only the leaders, the maker of the motion, the maker of the amendment under consideration, and the prime sponsor of the bill under consideration. On the question, Chair recognizes the gentleman from Clarion, Representative Bashline.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I would urge a no vote to table this amendment. I feel like it not only is part of the bill, but also strengthens it. So thank you very much.
Chair thanks, gentleman. Recognize the minority leader, gentleman from Bedford, Representative Topper.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I would also urge a vote against the motion to table. This is a serious public safety issue that can certainly be encapsulated in this bill, and I believe we should vote on the amendment in chief and would once again ask members to vote against the motion to table. Thank you.
Chair thanks the gentleman. Those in favor of the motion to table will vote aye. Those opposed, nay. Members will proceed to vote. Have all the members voted? All the members voted. The clerk will record the vote. The ayes are 102, the nays 101. The majority having voted the affirmative, the amendment is laid on the table. For what purpose does the gentleman, the majority whip, Representative Schlossberg, rise?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I rise to make a motion.
Gentleman is in order and may proceed.
Mr. Chair, I motion to table Amendment A01158 pursuant to Rule 59.
Representative Schlossberg moves that Amendment A01158 be laid on the table. On the motion, the chair recognizes the minority leader, the gentleman from Bedford, Representative Topper.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Once again, these are public safety amendments. This one in particular surrounding domestic violence that I believe would strengthen this bill and certainly put to ease any of the fears that those might have of passing the bill in chief into law. I think these amendments, particularly this one, should be considered, and I would urge the members to vote against the motion to table so that we can at least have a robust debate surrounding this important and vital public safety issue. Thank you.
Chair thanks the gentleman. Those in favor of the motion will table the vote will vote aye. Those opposed, nay. Members will proceed to vote. Have all the members voted? Clerk will record the vote. The ayes are 102, the nays 101. The majority having voted the affirmative, the amendment is laid on the table. House agree to the bill? Agreed to. The bill is amended, will be reprinted. Chair recognizes the majority leader who calls up House Bill 1216, printers number 1364 on page 1 of today's House calendar. The clerk will read a summary of the bill.
This bill provides for a junk fee transparency bill.
Will the House agree to the bill? Representative Fiedler offers Amendment A01059. Will the House agree to the amendment? On that question, the chair recognizes Representative Fiedler.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. This amendment clarifies that government taxes are excluded from the requirement to be displayed as part of the display price, but must be included in the final price you see before you make the purchase. The amendment addresses concerns raised by the PA Lodging and Restaurant Association, and I ask for a yes vote.
Chair thanks the gentlelady. Those in favor of the amendment will vote aye. Those opposed, no. Members will proceed to vote. Have all the members voted? Have all the members voted? The clerk will record the vote on the amendment. The ayes are 199. The nays are 4. The amendment is agreed to. Representative Fiedler offers Amendment A01110. Will the House agree to the amendment? On that question, the chair recognizes the Majority Chair of Energy, Gentlelady Representative Fiedler.
This is a technical amendment addressing concerns raised again by the PA Lodging and Restaurant Association, clarifying that lodging rooms are rented and not purchased. I ask my colleagues for an affirmative vote.
Chair thanks the gentlelady. Those in favor of the amendment will vote aye. Those opposed, no. Members will proceed to vote. Have all the members voted? Have all the members voted? The clerk will record the vote on the amendment. The ayes are 200, the nays are 3. The amendment is agreed to. It's the chair's understanding that all remaining amendments have been withdrawn. Chair thanks the gentleman. House agree to the bill? Agreed to. This bill as amended will be reprinted. Chair recognizes the Majority Leader who calls up House Bill 1318, printers number 1511 on page 4 of today's House calendar. The clerk will read a summary of the bill.
This bill amends the Borough Code to remove the limitation on the amount of funds a borough council may appropriate for the support of a county or regional association of boroughs.
Will the House agree to the bill? Representative Bernstein offers Amendment A01101. Will the House agree to the amendment? On that question, the chair recognizes the gentleman from Lawrence, Representative Bernstein.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, this amendment is very straightforward and simple. This is an amendment that would basically say we should not be using taxpayer dollars to lobby. I think that it's quite simple. The facts are, do people that pay taxes want to use those taxpayer dollars to lobby in Harrisburg or in Washington, D.C. or anything else? Now, obviously, they're willing to come up and lobby themselves and reach out to their legislators and have those great conversations like I have with many of my boroughs. But truthfully, we should not be using taxpayer dollars money to lobby. This would put that practice to an end. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Chair thanks, gentlemen. On the question, chair recognizes the prime sponsor of the underlying bill, the gentleman from Montgomery, Representative Cerisi.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. This is not an agreed to amendment. I'd ask for a no vote.
Chair thanks the gentleman. Chair recognizes for the second time the gentleman from Lawrence, Representative Bernstein.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, to be clear, a yes vote on this amendment would say that you do not believe that taxpayer dollars should be used to lobby.
Gentlemen will suspend. Gentlemen will not question the motives of members. Members can vote for things for whatever reason they choose. The gentleman may continue.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, is defined in the amendment in the legislation that is written, A yes vote on this amendment would ensure that taxpayer dollars could not be used to lobby. If a no vote is taken on this amendment, it would be continuing to permit taxpayer dollars to be used to lobby. I would encourage a yes vote. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Chair thanks the gentleman. On the question, Chair recognizes the Majority Chairman of Local Government, Representative Freeman.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I rise to oppose this amendment. The gentleman has stated that it would prevent taxpayers' money from being used for lobbying. Keep in mind it's lobbying on behalf of boroughs upon the communities that are in our district, but it also prevents private money or any other funds from being able to be used to contract lobbyists to advocate on behalf of the boroughs. This is a bad amendment. It would undermine the ability to effectively present the borough's perspective on issues, which is important for each and every one of us as members to hear. Sometimes in the course of a heated issue, there are interest groups arrayed against each other, presenting their point, pressing their issue, but it's important to know the public perspective, and that comes through local government associations like the Boroughs Association. The Boroughs Association is not an ordinary lobbying group, it's a public interest lobbying group that works on behalf of the people who live in the boroughs of this Commonwealth. I would urge a no vote. This amendment would tie one hand behind the back of boroughs as they try to advocate on behalf of their constituents and the issues important to the boroughs of our Commonwealth. Please vote no.
Chair thanks the gentleman. Those in favor of the amendment will vote aye. Those opposed, no. Members will proceed to vote. Clerk will strike the vote. Try it again. Those in favor of the amendment will vote aye. Those opposed, no. Members will proceed to vote. Clerk will strike the vote. The House will temporarily be at ease.
The House will come to order. The House will come to order. House Bill 1318 is over for the day. Colleagues, we have some special guests here for afternoon session from all over the Commonwealth. We're thrilled to welcome members of the Keystone Boys State. Please stand up. Welcome to the floor of the House. They're in the gallery. Members, due to the malfunction of the electronic voting system, following the precedent of June 17th, 1975, we will be manually taking the votes. Members who wish to vote no, colleagues, members who wish to vote no will stand, and the respective whips, the majority whip, the minority whip, will identify for the record the no votes for their caucuses. All members who do not stand will be voting yes. Due to the malfunction of the electronic voting system following the precedent of June 17, 1975, we will be manually taking the vote for all remaining votes. Members who wish to vote no will stand. Respective whips will identify the no votes, and members who do not stand will be voted yes. Chair recognizes the Majority Leader who calls up House Bill 1425, printer's number 1660 on page 4 of today's House calendar. Clerk will read a summary of the bill.
This bill provides for nicotine electronic cigarette directory.
Will the House agree to the bill? The gentleman from Montgomery County, Majority Chair of Judiciary, Representative Briggs, offers A, 01148. Will the House agree to the amendment? The Chair recognizes the gentleman, Representative Briggs.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I rise to ask the members to vote in the affirmative on Amendment 01148. The amendment clarifies the name of the directory, clarifies the supply chain responsibilities of retailers and wholesalers, defines electronic cigarette that contains nicotine, and it provides for enhanced enforcement flexibility to the Department of Revenue and the Office of Attorney General. For this reason, I ask for a yes vote. It is an agreed-to amendment. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Chair thanks the gentleman. Members, please take your seats. Legislative staff, please take your seats. Those opposed to the amendment, A01148 will stand. Those opposed to the amendment, A01148 will stand and remain standing. The chair understands there are complications with member laptops. The chair is printing the amendment for members to see. Chair thanks the members for their indulgence and patience. Chair recognizes the Majority Whip, Representative Schlossberg, for the negative votes.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. There are no negative votes from the Democratic caucus.
Chair thanks the gentleman. Chair recognizes the Minority Whip for the no votes from the Republican caucus, Representative O'Neill.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, Representative Barger, Representative Borowitz, Representative Ham, Representative Razzle should all be recorded in the negative.
Chair thanks the gentleman. The clerk will tabulate the votes on Amendment A01148. The ayes are 199, the nays are 4. The amendment is agreed to. So Chair's understanding that all remaining amendments are withdrawn. Chair thanks the author of the amendments. Will the House agree the bill is agreed to? The bill as amended will be reprinted. The chair recognizes the majority leader who calls up House Bill 1364, printers number 1912, on page 6 of today's House calendar. The clerk will read a summary of the bill.
This bill provides for public transportation trust fund transfers and increases.
This bill has been considered on 3 different days and agreed to. The question is, shall the bill pass the House finally? Chair recognizes the gentleman from Philadelphia, the maker of the bill, the Majority Chair of Transportation, Representative Nielsen.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. In an effort to save time with the difficulties we're having on the House floor, I would like to not only submit my comments for the record, but members from across the Commonwealth so we can get this expedited and get it across the threshold. I appreciate everybody's indulgence over the last 2 years on this transportation and funding transportation in all 67 counties. I'd ask for an affirmative vote here today. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Chair thanks the gentleman. Chair recognizes the gentleman from Westmoreland, Representative Nelson.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Out of respect for the chair and his desire to move this process along, I'm going to submit my opposition remarks for the record and encourage Republican members to do the same. Thank you.
Chair thanks the gentleman. Agreeable to the provisions of the Constitution, the yeas and nays will now be taken. Members will proceed to vote. Members who wish to vote no will stand at this time. This isn't the pledge. Chair recognizes the gentleman from Washington, the minority whip, for the no votes for the record.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, the no votes should be Representative Anderson, Armanini, Banta, Barger, Barton, Bashline, Benninghoff, Bernstein, Bonner, Borowitz, Marla Brown, Causer, Cook, Cooper, Cutler, Diorzi, Devanzo, Day, Delosier, Diamond, Ecker, Emmerich, Fee, Fink, Flick, Flood, Fritz, Gatos, Gillen, Gleim, Greiner, Grove, Ham, Heffley, Hogan, Irvin, Correction, Hogan should not be included. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. James, Mike Jones, Tom Jones, Kell, Kaufman, Kephart, Kerwin, Klunk, Kozak, Krupa, Kutz, Kuzma, Lawrence, Ledbetter, McKenzie, Major, Mako, Maloney, Marcel, Menser, Metzger, Mihalik, Brett Miller, Mao, Mostello, Eric Nelson, O'Neill, Olsemer, Ortitai, Allette, Pickett, Pugh, Rader, Rapp, Razzle, Reichert, Rigby, Roy, Rossi, Rowe, Renkavich, Shurin, Slagle, Schmidt, Shalaba, Schaefer, Smith, Stats, Stambaugh, Sturr, Stender, Struzzi, Topper, Twardzik, Walsh, Warner, Weeknick, Wentling, and that is it, Madam Speaker. Zimmerman. Zimmerman. And that is it, Madam Speaker.
Chair thanks the gentleman. Chair recognizes the gentleman from the Lehigh Majority Whip, Representative Schlossberg, for the no votes for the record for his caucus.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. The no votes from the Democratic Caucus are Representative Burns and Probst.
Chair thanks the gentleman. The chair will allow the staff to tabulate the votes. The clerk will record the vote. On the final passage of the bill, the yeas are 107, the nays are 96. The majority required by the Constitution have been voted in the affirmative. The bill passes finally, and the clerk will present the same to the Senate for concurrence. For the information of the members, there will be no further votes. Majority Leader moves that the following bills be recommitted to the Committee on Appropriations. House Bill 538, House Bill 627, House Bill 811, House Bill 968, House Bill 1095, House Bill 1216, House Bill 1403, House Bill 1425. Chairs in receipt of a motion from the gentleman from Delaware, Representative Williams, that the House now adjourn until Wednesday, June the 18th, 2025 at 11 a.m. unless sooner recalled by the Speaker for non-voting session. Questions on the motion? Those in favor say aye. Those opposed, no. The ayes have it, and the House stands adjourned until Wednesday, June the 18th, 2025 at 11 a.m. unless sooner recalled by the Speaker.